Good evening. Mazal tov to Ovadia Mikhailov, the dear tzaddik that moved into this house. Baruch Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send him and his family bracha in this house. Banim tzaddikim la'avodato yitbarach, shalom bayit, parnasa, briut, and only besorot tovot. Ovadia, dear Ovadia, it said that you don't say too many praises about a person in his face. So I will only say one out of million that I have. One is a few years ago, I had a Satmer Hasid, tzaddik, that went off the derech. He started to have questions if the Torah is from Hashem, not from Hashem. All kinds of heretics started to mess up with his head. And slowly, he was going lower and lower and lower until someone gave him my lectures. After he watched Torah and Science, he got the shock of his life, this Hasid. He contacted me. He said, well, now I know the Torah is divine. Until now it was only faith, and I lost my faith. But now it's not faith. Now I know 100%, and I'm doing full tshuva. And we started to be in touch, this Satmer Hasid and me. And then he asked me, Rabbi, can I do your shipping? Can I ship your books, your CDs? CDs was very popular this day. We used to send boxes. I said, how are you going to do shipping for me? He said, I work in a warehouse. I sell crystals, you know, Swarovski, crystal. Since I have the facility, I can do shipping for you. I said, wow, it's amazing, it's a miracle. Okay, do my shipping. 2 years he did my shipping. Then one day he calls me up, he said, Rabbi, as of this coming Tuesday, I'm closing my warehouse. Nobody buy crystals. I'm going into real estate. It's not worth it to sell crystals. So I'm very sorry. Until now, I didn't want to close the warehouse because I do your shipping and I ship boxes every day. But I have no business here, so I have to close the warehouse. As I'm driving to my lecture in Brooklyn, I'm thinking to myself, who's going to do my shipping now? I'm going to have to shut the website and no more USBs, no more CDs, no more books. Chaval, it makes a lot of Baalei Tshuva. I arrived to Brooklyn. One Jew comes to me. Hi, Rabbi, nice to meet you. My name is Ovadia. First day I met him was that day. He said to me, can I help you to do your shipping? Few hours after the Hasid told me I cannot do your shipping, few hours, Rabotai. Who can be so blind not to see the hand of Hashem over here? Few hours, the same day, I didn't go overnight. He said to me, can I do your shipping? I said, how are you going to do my shipping? He said, I work in a warehouse, shipping accessories. Since then, he's doing my shipping, what, 3 years, 4 years? What is it, 5 years? Yeah. It's 5 years. 5 years he's doing my shipping. Time is flying. He sent probably thousands of packages until now. With such devotion, so much love to save neshamot, to save souls. Unbelievable. I'm thinking to myself, how could I work without him? So he's mamash, as an ordinary, simple Jew, is mezakeh rabim gadol meod. Thanks to him, there's literally hundreds of Jews are not today religious, thanks to his efforts. So he's already going to be very important in Olam Haba. No question about this. So we see the Hashgacha of Hashem. Now, why am I telling you this story? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the world is divided to people who are messengers of Hashem and people that are messengers of the Satan. When someone is Rasha, wicked, Hashem take him and throw him to the side of the Satan, use him to do bad. When someone is good and Hashem likes him, Hashem take him to his side and he use him to do good in the world. If Ovadia Chas v'Shalom would not be tzaddik, would not be a good Jew that loves Hashem, he would throw him to the side of the Satan, and Satan would use him to spread Hashem Yerachem, terrible things. When Hashem gives you an opportunity to spread Torah, to save souls, to be busy with something that is atzalat nefashot, you know HaKadosh Baruch Hu loves you. That's a very big bonus. You know, the boss, in the end of the year in America, they give a bonus to the employees. Not everybody gets the same bonus. Someone the boss likes a lot more, get a much fatter envelope, right? Why you give him 10,000 and me only 2,000? Because you're not him. Everybody gets what he deserves. If Hashem gave you an opportunity to save neshamot, that means Baruch Hashem that you're very important in Shamayim. A similar story to this, Rabotai. Look at the Ashgacha of Hashem. I used to have my website on a server of a company called GoDaddy. You heard about them? It's a big company in America. A lot of websites use their service. One day, they send me an email. As of tonight, you can no longer be on our servers. We terminate your website. I called their customer service. How can you do such thing? What, did I do something wrong? He said, no. We just came to the conclusion it's not worth it for us to have you because you are equal to 400 businesses. The amount of traffic you have on your website, take away all the entire server. It's like 400 companies for the price of one. Go find someone else to service your website. Now I don't know anything about these things. I don't even know where to go. Thinking to myself, as of tonight, I don't have a website. All my lectures are on the website. What am I gonna do? Again, I go to Brooklyn Tuesday night. Same day, Tuesday night. I see a guy came, goatee, not religious. He came to me to speak to me with some Oriental woman. I don't know what she was, Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Right away, I know he's married to a non-Jewish woman. They came to talk to me about helping her to convert. As we speak, I started to ask her some questions. I realized that she's not willing to keep mitzvot. She's not the type of, though some goyim, they want to keep mitzvot. I want to be Jewish, with or without him. I want to keep Shabbat. I know it's the truth. She wasn't the type. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the point of wasting time with this woman? She's not going to keep Shabbat. She's not going to dress modest. There's no point. As, you know, she doesn't speak Hebrew, so he's Israeli, this guy. I asked him, what do you do? What's your job? He said, I have servers. Servers that host websites. I say, your own servers? He said, yes, I build them up. That's my business. I build apps. I give service to apps. And I build servers. He said, wow, you're not going to believe what just happened to me. I say to him, this is what happened today. As of now, in 1 hour from now, I will have no longer any website. I don't know what to do. Mishamayim, you came to me. He said to me, don't worry, Rabbi. Remember, he's not a religious guy. Don't worry, Rabbi. I'm going to transfer everything to my server. How many lectures do you have on the website? I told him thousands. So it's going to take a few days to transfer everything. The guy, for the whole week, he worked, transferring all the audios, all the videos to his server. This was maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago. Until today, he serves my website. Because of that, after a few months, the Goya left. He became more religious, and Baruch Hashem, Hashem saved the guy. I told him, if Hashem sent you in the day that I didn't have a server to make you the one that will spread millions of hours of Torah to the world for free, didn't want to charge. So how much I have to pay every month? Don't worry about it. I dedicated a whole server for you. I say to him, you have to be somebody important. It's very interesting how the world is turning, that few years later, I actually saved his brother from a very, very big problem. So it was worth it for him. And a few years later, I saved another brother of him. So, you know, Hashem has the entire picture, how he moved things around. It sometimes takes few years to see, the Hashgacha of Hashem. Very possible that if you would tell me that night, oh, I'm very busy, do you know how much work it is? I'm not going to put a week now to transfer all your lectures to this. It's going to be forever. Then when the time comes, both of his brothers wouldn't have someone to help them. And I was the only one who can help them in their particular problem at that time. So this is the Hashgacha of Hashem. That's why I tell you, Ovadia, that Baruch Hashem, Hashem for sure loves you very much. He gave you this opportunity to send His words every day to people. He sends tefillin, He sends mezuzot, He sends CDs, He sends books, He sends everything, USBs. Everything we need to send to Zikui Arabim, He's on it. How much headache He saves for me, how much headache, how much time, how much, you know. It's not easy to do shipping after COVID. I don't know if you know what it means. Some of the packages never arrive. Sent to a different country, and there's no way to know. Where is it? There's nobody to talk to. So Baruch Hashem, He's on top of everything, and we see Siyata Dishmaya, Bli Ayin Hara. As Rav Israeli, Baruch Hashem, spoke before me, and he spoke about the Hanukat Habait that we do when we move into a new house. And it's obviously very important, so if you move to a new house, it's very important because no one committed sins there. So you start fresh. But if you move to a house that someone lived before, you want to hope that it was a tzaddik. Someone that was Shomer Shabbat, someone that is religious. At least there were not that many sins were done in a house. If you buy the house from Chinese, Korean, Thailandi, all kinds of idol worshippers, it's very bad because they have statues in their house and who knows what else was done there. And all kinds of other sins. I remember when I wanted to move out of Lower East Side to Queens. I wanted to join the community over there. I had one baby, so I needed 2 bedrooms. And, you know, one child, he has his room, and the parents in one room, and that's it. I had a friend, lived in Queens, and he told me, I found you an apartment, come take a look at it. In Queens, in Flushing, apartments, co-op, to rent. I come in, we knock on the door, open the door, an Indian gun for India, wearing a long white dress, you know those dresses that they wear? The Indian standing by the door, hi, we came to look at the apartment. Yes, it's available, come in. We walk around. Listen to this, we walk into the bedroom now. Now I see the entire wall is closet from the bottom to the top. 2 closets, bottom closet, top closet, but the entire wall is closets. Now you know, we have manners. I will never dare to come to someone else and ask him, can I open the closet? Can I see inside? I don't know, out of nowhere, it just came out of my mouth. I said, can I open the closet? I saw the Indian. I saw he got nervous. I said, okay, open. I opened the 2 doors. Shem Yerachem. A Buddha statue inside with dollar bills and flowers. Me and my friend turned around like this, and this fool went like this. I said to him in Hebrew, let's run out of here before I faint. We didn't even say goodbye to him. We were so nervous to run out of here. I say to him, Yofi shel dira matzat li. How can I have known? It's a bad. Imagine you move into a house like this. Your kids sleep in a room that this fool bow down to his statue every day over there. The avodah zara, it's affect the whole blessing of the house. Chas v'shalom. So, Rabotai, when we do Hanukat Habait, we read all the parts from the Gemara, Mishnah, Zohar, Rambam, things that speaking about Hanukat Habait. Usually it's talking about Hanukat Bet HaMikdash, Hanukat HaMishkan, Hanukat Bet HaMikdash. מה זה mean Hanukkah? לחנוך. When you have a brand new, something brand new, you begin to use it. The first time you use it, it's called Hanukkah. לחנוך. Why they call Hanukkah, the holiday Hanukkah? Because the Bet HaMikdash was spiritually destroyed. Everything is messed up. We have to restart the whole service. That's why they call it Hanukat Habait. מזמור שיר חנוכת הבית, ארור ממך השם וכו'. So Hanukat Habait means I'm moving to the house, like the Rav say. If you can knock down the whole house and rebuild it, perfect. Brand new house, nobody care what was done here before. פנים חדשות באו לכאן. If you cannot do it today, it's a big deal to knock down a house and rebuild it. It could be over $1 million. So what do? You paint. You paint. Once you paint, the impression that went to the wall is all covered. It doesn't give bad energy into the house. What happens if they want to leave you furniture? You have a Chinese owner, he wants to sell you the house. I'm leaving you the table, I'm leaving you the closet. Very bad. What do you know what they put on that? I remember one time I went in Lower East Side to buy spices. There used to be Kaduri in Lower East Side, next to Essex Street, selling spices. As I come to the store, I look across the street, I see another store, I see big statue, and Chinese walk around singing with drums like this. In the middle of a store, worshipping their idol. So you see there's Avodah Zarah today all over the world by the Goyim. All Christians are idol worshippers. They worship JC. As a matter of fact, we are now in the week that the Goyim celebrate Christmas and New Year's Eve. There used to be a rabbi in Lausanne, in Switzerland, Rav Berkovich. When he arrived to Lausanne, they made an interview for him if they can give him a visa, meaning if they can give him a Swiss passport. That's the hardest passport to get in the world. The hardest. If you come to Switzerland with many millions of dollars and you have clean record, you may get it. But ordinary people can dream about it. So he came to Lausanne, the Goyim, they made a committee. They interview him now. What makes you think we want to give you a passport? Convince us. Rav Berkovich told them, all of you believe in JC, right? Yes. He said, what happens if tomorrow JC will show up in the world to save the world? All of you are his big followers. He's going to start speaking Hebrew, the Lashon HaKodesh. אשרי יושבי ביתך, עוד יעלוך הסלע, ובא לציון גואל. What exactly are you going to do? He's going to talk to you and you won't know what he wants. For that you need me. I will be able to translate everything. Right away, the Swiss, cold as ice, Goyim, started to laugh hysterically. Boom! One guy stamped the application, another one, and that's how Rav Berkovich got visa and passport to stay in Switzerland. First year he was there, he asked his people a question. What's worse, to be a rabbi or to be a chazan? It's a rabbi, why it's bad? It's good to be a rabbi and it's good to be a chazan. Both of them is bad. The question is, what's worse? Nobody knew. He said, I'll tell you, it's worse to be a rabbi. Yeah? Why? He said, the chazan, everyone fall asleep behind his back. The rabbi, everyone fall asleep in his face. That's more offending. As he speak, he saw one guy snoring in the audience. So he said to his friend, wake him up. No, you put him to sleep, you wake him up. Tough. Few months went by. Christmas night arrived, December 24th. He's standing by the copy machine, and one guy is standing next to him making copies. Rav Berkovich told him, tonight is the happiest night of my year. The guy said to him, I thought you're Jewish, Rabbi. He said, I'm Jewish. But this is our Christian holiday. Why it's the happiest night for you? He said, how can I not be delighted when 2 billion Christians, all of them bow down to one Jew tonight. That's my special night. Oh, 2 days later, that guy came back to the office and he said to him, Rabbi, you ruined my entire Christmas. So why? I couldn't pray to JC. How can I pray to a Jew? You mess up my life. He had good sense of humor, Rav Berkovich in Lausanne. But, you know, when you move into the house, obviously, if you have things that the idol worshippers used, better to get rid of it. That's why I always say, don't buy used stuff. Sometimes they sell second-hand, used stuff. You don't know where the furniture comes from. It can come from a house of an idol worshipper who actually had an idol on that table. You and your children have to eat Seudat Shabbat on a table that just a month ago there was a big statue on it, and the Goyim would bow down to it. Better you buy brand new and that. Also, synagogue, when you build, the best way to build a synagogue, if you can build it with religious Jews, not with Goyim. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, when they used to pray an important prayer, took his students out of the building to pray outside. They asked him, Rabbi, why we don't pray inside? We come outside. He said, because the building was built by Goyim, workers. The way they build it, not L'Shem Shamayim, who knows, maybe the big Reshaim. Over here, there's no influence of a bad building. Also, when we do Hanukat Habait, it's important to get good mezuzot. Mezuzot, it's life and death, it's no joke. Many people will spend millions of dollars on a house and then they become cheap when it comes to the mezuzot. Don't you have cheaper, Rabbi? $100 mezuzah? In a store it's more than $200. Why you complain? Still, $100, you know how many doors I have? I have 25 doors. $2,500. One chandelier, you just spent $13,000. You worry about the mezuzot? Chandelier, there's no Yetzer Hara. That's why he's going to spend a lot of money. Furniture, there's no Yetzer Hara. Everything he will install in a house, there's no Yetzer Hara. Mezuzot, the Satan shows up. Hey, Itzik, why do you become so fanatic? Don't let the rabbi fool you. He wants $100 for mezuzah? What is this? Big deal. Go over there, they'll sell one for $50. Why you spend so much? The truth is, if you know, how long does it take to write mezuzah? Do you know? You have a feather, ink, you dip it, you begin to write. How many letters you have in a mezuzah? 713. Each letter take about 10 to 20 seconds, depending on the sofer. You do the math. It takes a long, long time. Sometimes after you write already for 2 hours, you messed up. One ink, touch, the ink spilled a little bit and touch the other letter, it's the name of Hashem. I cannot erase. You have to bury the mezuzah. 2 hours was for nothing. You have to add this to the time. How long does it take you to write mezuzah? Between 3 and 4 hours. The cloth is not paper. It's the leather of the cow. They remove the hair, they put it in lime, they process it, then they make lines. You know how much work? Depending on the size of the cloth, between $10 and $20 it costs to the sofer. Plus the feather, plus the ink. Then when he finish, he has to send it to make rounds. Few dollars for that. Then you have to give few dollars to another aga to check the mezuzah. Then few more dollars to do computer check. All together, before he even started, it's between $30 and $40. Before he started. So after working almost 4 hours, he's going to make $60. And from that he has to give maaser, which is $10. From the 100. So 90 minus 40, he left with $50 for almost 4 hours of work. So the sofer, Talmid Chacham, that writes mezuzah, make less than a guy that came from Puerto Rico or from Mexico that doesn't speak one word in English, did not go to school one day in his life, he works in a grocery shop, picking up boxes, he makes $20 an hour. And the rabbi in Jerusalem, that will write the mezuzah, will make less than the amigos. And then the rich people who just spent $3 million on a house cash, come to complain why it's $100. Well, in a store it costs double, but the store has rent, electric, workers, advertisement, phone bills, insurance. It has to be double in a store. What I get, half a price from the store, and much better quality than the stores. But the stores have to make money, otherwise they will go out of business. But mezuzot is very, very important. Not enough just that the mezuzah will be beautiful writing. It's very important to know who wrote it. If you have a person that is not holy in his lifestyle, the mezuzah is no kedusha. No kedusha. It's beautiful writing, like a print. He's very good graphic artist. But he walks with shorts on the street, short sleeves, little tiny yarmulke, you barely see it, listening to women on the radio. And he's a sofer, all day listening to secular news in Israel. Some of them even have TV at home. They watch all the horrible things that they show on TV, and now he comes with his tum'ah to write your mezuzot. You gotta be very careful. Who do you use? I, for instance, only use Bnei Torah. People that their mind is full of Torah. That they don't have smartphone, they don't have screens, they don't know what laptop it is. They don't know any of that. Some of them don't even have flip phone. Even that they don't have. Why? He's isolated from the world. He learns Torah all day, he comes, he writes one mezuzah. I had one sofer, his writing is beyond words. His rabbi that taught him how to write was the biggest Faradi sofer ever. So he has the same writing like that sofer. The only thing is that he's much, much more righteous than his teacher. His teacher will only write mezuzot, but he wasn't a ben Torah. This one is a big tzaddik. He loved to learn Torah. I say to him, any amount of mezuzot you write, 20 centimeter, big ones, automatically I'm buying it for you. You don't have to talk to anyone. Whatever you write, I buy. You write 50, I buy. You write 100, I buy it. You don't have to worry, Parnasa, just write. He said, okay, if I'll be able to, I will write for you 12 per month. 12? I say, you're joking? I need 12 a day, not 12 a month. Why is it 12 a month? Well, in America, one house can have 40 mezuzot. He said, no, I can write one mezuzah every other day. I want to learn. I was begging him, write more. No, I'm in it. After a while, he said to me, I didn't write anything this time. So why? He said, I had an enlightenment. Hashem opened for me big light in the Torah. I cannot stop learning a minute even. I can't. I said to him, I'm going to pay you an extra 100 shekel. It's a lot. For every mezuzah. I didn't want to lose him. Extra, I said to myself, you know what, tzedakah, such a chacham, such a tzaddik. Extra 100 shekel for mezuzah I'll give you. Doesn't want. And if you think he's rich, you can't be more poor than him. It's so deep in the Torah. If you get mezuzah from someone like this, you know, as a bracha you have in your house, it's life and death. Mezuzot and tefillin is life and death. I give you a few examples. What does it mean, life and death? One person had 3 heart attacks, young. If he's overweight, there is always a chance to get a heart attack. You don't live healthy. Okay. But that guy wasn't overweight. He wasn't a heavy smoker, wasn't overweight, and wasn't old. Why does he get 3 heart attacks? Nobody understands. Cholesterol normal, this normal. They say, let's check your mezuzot. In his bedroom, the mezuzah in the word levavchem was erased. Your heart was erased. Oh, you have a problem with the heart. In the word in the mezuzah, levavchem, meaning your heart, is erased. They fixed the mezuzah. or they replaced the mezuzah, whatever the case was, and that person, Baruch Hashem, never had any other case. One person had a child that all the time have problems, medical problem. They checked the mezuzah. What happened? Benechem was pasul, wasn't kosher. Benechem, your son. Now I'm going to tell you a story that happened to me. Not stories that I heard from others. Happened to me in my house. My son, Aaron his name, is 20 today. He was 3 years old, so this story was 17 years ago. I moved to the house where I live right now 20 years ago. This was 2 or 3 years after I moved in. Something like that. He doesn't speak. He's almost 3, he doesn't say a word. We started to worry that maybe he has problems, maybe he's autistic, maybe something we don't see. Not normal. All other kids by 1 year old, they already say words. It's almost 3. We took him to a specialist in Westchester, play with him with Lego, with all kinds of things to check if his brain function. So I don't see any problem. Baruch Hashem, no problem. It's normal. But why he doesn't speak? A few days later, my wife comes to me and says, I had a very bad dream. I said, what? I dreamed that the mezuzah in Aaron's room is not kosher. I said to her, how can it be? I bring the best mezuzot. You know how many times it's checked? The top sofrim. It's not possible. The dream is nonsense. A few days later, she said to me, why you insist so much not to check it? What do you care? Check the mezuzah. So I know it's going to be a waste of time. It's the best klafim. Why would I have to check it? It was checked already by another sofer and by computer. It's not that. Check. Okay, for you I'll check. I come to their room. I open the screw in the bottom. I try to pull the cloth. I look inside. It's empty. Empty box. Without mezuzah inside. Apparently what happened? The night when we moved to the house, I invited all the yeshiva to the house to do Hanukat Habait. First night. And I say to them, Rabotai, every one of you take one mezuzah, put the cloth inside, close the box. Everyone will put in a place that they see there's no mezuzah. I make the bracha on the front door. I have all of you in mind. Find where to put it. Like this, I save time. Instead of taking me 2 hours, it would take 2 minutes. Everyone find a door, put mezuzah, that's it. Everyone did find a place. I knew the amount of mezuzot. In 5 minutes, I had mezuzot in the house. Apparently, one of them forgot to put the cloth. And that cloth went into Aaron's room. So now for 2 to 3 years, he lives in that room without cloth. Empty box, white. Looks mezuzah, we kiss it, it's empty inside. She had a dream that there's a problem with this mezuzah. When I came to check the mezuzah, I found out there's no cloth. Immediately I went, I rolled one cloth, put it inside. Rabotai, it didn't even take 1 day. Not even 1 day. The next day his teacher called. What happened with Aaron? He started to talk non-stop today. And since then, for 17 years, he talk and talk and talk and talk. Non-stop he talks. Baruch Hashem tzaddik. Here is a perfect example how you don't have a mezuzah in a room and it can affect your child that he cannot speak. Look at the impact of it. That's why I say mezuzot is life and death. That's why I don't play games with that. When you go to buy mezuzot, you have to know who you buy it from. It's not recommended to buy them in stores. Stores have from many different sources. How do you think they check it? I get the mezuzot. It's checked by another sofer. It's checked by computer. And I myself check them before we roll them, to make sure everything is perfect. And if I see something a tiny bit not perfect, I send it back. We don't want it.
Yeah, but there is a more hidur you can do in the mezuzah.
Yes, we're talking only about Mu'udar.
No, I mean today's klafim are not mu'udarim. It's not halacha leMoshe Sinai.
Why?
All of the klafim.
Why? You can use klafim lishma. אז מה? What's not?
It's today machinery. They take the whole givil.
Yeah.
And they put it in the machinery and it scrapes from both sides to make it even.
Right. Do you mean that they use machine?
Yes. And they use for the Sefer Torah, for the
klaf, you mean?
Klaf.
The klaf, the process of making the klaf.
You have avodat yad and machine.
Yes.
We're not talking about that section right now. Avodat yad is much harder to do.
Right,
so
right.
the fact that when you put it into the machinery, it scrapes from both sides, you're going to get, and you write it over here. But halacha leMoshe Sinai is that when you have the gvil, you have the 20% portion of the gvil is klaf, is niklaf, is something that you peel it, kolef, right? And that's a unified leather. That's the top leather. And then the dochtostos is like tiny 80% of it is the little hair that comes out of it. So when you split it in two, Hashem, Borei Olam already differentiated between the two. So when you split it in two, this is called the tzad dochtostos, the tzad of basar.
Yeah.
And this is tzad sa'ar, right? So where do you write it? The Gemara says you write it over here for the tefillin. You write it over here for the mezuzah. So what do you have? Most of the klafim today is go through machinery, it's all writing over here. So first of all, you write it in the wrong place. Second of all, even though you could just scrape the other side, which what I do, we purchase it ourselves. We scrape the top part where the hair is, and then we send it to the sofer. And he does the lines and everything else. But this way you do halacha leMoshe Sinai. So most of the, everywhere you go, nobody does it. I'm sure, like maybe 99%, I'm sure nobody does. And they're all right over here. You know, I think your mezuzah is the way is from the is on the doctor's. Also, his tefillin is also on a real klaf. It's like we worked it all out to make it on a real klaf.
But like you see, there's so many rules about it and so many halachot about it. And unfortunately today, many people just want the cheapest. When they buy bar mitzvah tefillin, give me, especially now after COVID, everything became so much more expensive. Everything went up. Many people come and just want to buy the cheapest one. They don't care, kosher, not kosher, good level, high level. Chaval. So Baruch Hashem, this is about this. The house, in order for you to have blessing, the more Torah you have, not only in Hanukat Habait. Hanukat Habait, like the Rav Israeli said, it's good to start with Divrei Torah. That's a sgula, that the house will continue to have Divrei Torah. Aval, you have to make sure to bring people to give Divrei Torah. Every opportunity you have, you bring this rabbi, that rabbi, to give shiurim in your house. Once the house become partially like a synagogue, or a place that people learn Torah day, night, there is special blessing coming into the house. And automatically, obviously, you see that it's affecting the holiness of the house, the purity of the children, and the shlom bayit in the house. And Bezrat Hashem, therefore, Ovadia, I know that you're always going to look to do the best thing. And Bezrat Hashem, Hashem will help you. Now you're living in this house, and Bezrat Hashem, very soon you'll move to a bigger house even.
Amen. Amen.
As long, but now you came to a good place, you're close to the Chacham Israeli, it's a treasure. Baruch Hashem, now you have to learn Hebrew. That's your next mission. Yeah, like this you'll enjoy his speeches. He gives only shiurim in Hebrew or some in English? So I know him almost 30 years, from the time I was in Monsey when he came to America. So you have zchut, he learned by Rav Ovadia, he learned by Rav Ben Zion, Tzaddik, Talmid Chacham, chief rabbi of Bukharians. Bukharians, I think you have more than 100,000 Bukharians here in New York. More, maybe more. Dayan. Yeah, Dayan. Baruch Hashem, and the most important thing, with all the titles, the most important thing, midot. Perfect midot. Humility, manners, devotion. Unbelievable, Baruch Hashem. Remember, תיקון המידות, זה כל האדם. If a person will know a lot of Torah, but will not be behaving the way Hashem expects him to behave, it creates Chilul Hashem. His entire Torah actually damages him. Because people expect him to be somebody important. You see, he behaves like partially like an animal. And then the people are saying, this is the face of the Torah? Let's create Chilul Hashem. It would be better for him not to be Chacham. If Chacham doesn't behave properly, the Gemara says, תלמיד חכם שמידותיו רעות, נבלה סרוחה בשוק טובה ממנו. Dead cat or a dog on the street is better than him. Why? Why better than him? What a dead dog on the street? What's happened when you see a dead dog? The smell begin to spread. Every day worse. So what happened? Every day people go far away from that dead body. Yesterday was 10 meters, the next day 20 meters, 30, until the whole neighborhood ran away. Nobody can smell it. Why? Because the smell of a dead animal makes everyone run away. That's why the Chachamim use this expression that a Talmid Chacham that behaves terribly is worse than a dead animal. Why? Because the same way an animal make people run away until the smell finish, this Talmid Chacham make people run away from the Torah for good. Not just for X amount of time. People say, if that's the face of the Torah, this is how the religious people behave, I don't want anything to do with that. Chas v'shalom, it's called Chilul Hashem. That's why the Chachamim say, first thing you have to worry about, fixing your midot. Some people, Ovadia, are lucky like you. You're born already with nice midot. You're not angry. Every time I call him, Ovadia, should I meet you before the lecture? I want to save him the trip. He comes at 11 o'clock to pick up the stuff that I bring from Monsi. He should take it to the warehouse. So I said to him, why don't we meet before the lecture? 99% of the time he say, I will come. So why? But I'm right next to your house. I'm downstairs. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm helping with the kids. You always help with the kids. Where do you find husbands like this? I can't come downstairs for 1 minute. Why? I'm watching the kids. I'm giving them baths. I'm putting them to sleep. It's like a second wife, like a second mother. All the works, comes home, help with the kids. Why? Midot tovot, very good midot. Some men comes home, put their legs on the table. Moshe, can you help me out with the kids? No. I have my job, you have your job. But he, Baruch Hashem, is humble. He does everything be'ava, and Bezrat Hashem, these kids, thanks to that and thanks to your devotion and your wife's devotion, will grow to be big Talmidei Chachamim. Amen. And you'll always be able to put them in the best yeshivot. Amen. And you see a lot of, I'm sure for sure you're going to see a lot of nachat from them, because everything Hashem does is measure for measure. Amen. You will help to bring Hashem children back to Him, and Hashem is going to watch your children to be always with Him, Bezrat Hashem. Amen. Thank you very much. Mazal Tov. Baruch Adonai, Leolam. אמן ואמן. רבי חנניה בן הקשיא אומר,